comment,
and subscribe for more content.
Where's the notification bell?
It's to the right of you.
Oh.
What's up, guys? It's DK Wrestler here from a Funko Popcast, and in today's video, I'm going to be making some predictions for the upcoming Funko Wien reveals. But before that happens, make sure you press that subscribe button for more content like this video in the future, and press the little bell beside it to be notified of when that future content gets released. But anyways, guys, let's check it out. So like I said in today's video, I'm going to be making predictions for the upcoming Funko Wien reveals. For those that might not know, last year Funko started doing this thing called Funko Wien, or at that time it was called Funko Wien in May, where Funko would do basically a week-long reveal of Halloween-themed pops. Now this was reported in an article by a website that for some reason I can't remember the name of, at the same time announcing that Funko has made, I think it's a 38% spike in revenue. They had announced that Funko Wien reveals would begin on Monday, May 24th, and according to websites such as Pop in a Box, it'll be lasting all week until Friday, May 28th. So I'm going to be making both Funko Pop and soda predictions for these Funko Wien reveals, and I got 5 of them. It's not gonna be 5 Funko Pops and 5 sodas. It's just gonna kind of be like all mixed up together. So for these reveals, I didn't want to go super obvious, like let's say for example, like A Nightmare Before Christmas, maybe Marvel Zombies, something along the lines of that, because of course we probably are gonna get both of those, except one of those that I said is part of my predictions, but I did go a little more specific about it. So without further ado, let's talk about the first prediction out of 5 that I have here for Funko Wien, and that is simply Halloween versions of Deadpool. Of course, this year Deadpool does celebrate his 30th anniversary, and they've been releasing so many different variants, even having a Marvel Collector's Course subscription box just on Deadpool, so I wouldn't be surprised if around October, right before Halloween, we get some Halloween-themed Deadpools. Now, some examples I had, maybe Deadpool as a ghost we could get, Deadpool wearing like a jack-o'-lantern, or possibly a Dracula Deadpool, something along the lines of that we could get. Now, the next prediction I have here are horror movie Funko sodas. More of them at least, because we did have the Chucky Funko soda release, I think in early 2020, I believe, and I think they're going to adapt more on that line. So examples I have here are Freddy Krueger from Nightmare on Elm Street, Jason Voorhees from Friday the 13th, and especially one that I definitely would get is Michael Myers from Halloween. But another one that I wanted to point out, someone was at Funko Hollywood the other day, and I'll put a photo right here, and seen that they were loading off of a truck this huge statue of what looks to be a Freddy Funko as Dracula Funko soda, so that possibly could be a reveal at Funko Wien 2021, and possibly if it's Freddy Funko as Dracula, most likely it will be an eventual Funko shop, or possibly like Funko Hollywood or HQ exclusive. It won't be one of those common Funko sodas. The next set of pops I have here is one of those obvious mentions that I kind of mentioned earlier, that there might be one of those obvious like sets of pops that we probably get at every Funko Wien every year now, and that is a new wave of Nightmare Before Christmas pops. Of course, they did do one last year for Funko Wien 2020, but I'm gonna go a little more specific from kind of like a rumor I seen a while back. Now, a while back, I seen a rumor of basically doing an adaptation of the Disney train set that they did with like Mickey Mouse, Goofy, Donald Duck, like that whole set where you had to buy like 5 separate pops to kind of connect them all together. But I seen a rumor of Nightmare Before Christmas themed versions, and I'm thinking that possibly this is now the time that Funko could possibly reveal it if it's actually happening, where let's say I'm gonna assume that right at the front of the train it's gonna be Jack Skellington. We're probably gonna get a Sally, an Oogie Boogie, probably a 0, and if I were to guess, because it is a set of 5, I believe, the last character will probably be the mayor, if I'm going to guess. So I think this would actually be a cool set of Funko Pops to make, just because it's something a little new and refreshing for the Nightmare Before Christmas lineup, although there are so many Nightmare Before Christmas Pops already. A next set of pops that I have listed here is a new wave of the Simpsons Treehouse of Horror. Now, of course, Treehouse of Horror is Halloween themed. It is the Halloween episodes of The Simpsons that, of course, The Simpsons release every single year, and I do think because the Treehouse of Horror line does have a pretty big success as terms to Funko Pop sales, that I think they're definitely going to be making more Treehouse of Horror Pops, especially because there's a lot of characters that we have still yet to see in Funko Pop form. Huge example that I've written down is probably my favorite Treehouse of Horror character, and that is Hugo, which is kind of like Bart's conjointed twin in that one episode in, I believe it's Treehouse of Horror 8, where, you know, Bart gets told that he actually had a twin brother and he was kind of like demented and he was kept up in the attic. It would be really cool if we actually had a Hugo Pop where maybe he's holding a glass of, I think it's milk that he has, and then the plate with the fish that's on it. I think that'd be really cool. Other examples of Pops I would like to see in the Treehouse of Horror lineup, and I don't want to give away all of them because we did do a Treehouse of Horror podcast over on our weekly podcast, a Funko Popcast, which little suggestion thingy above to go listen to that after this. Another example is the Spider March from the Coraline spoof episode. It's one of the newer Treehouse of Horrors. And then a 2-pack that I really would like to see is Stretch Dude and Cobbler Girl, which is kind of like the superhero personas of Bart and Lisa. And the last prediction that I have here for Funko Wien 2021 reveals is a wave of Monsters Inc. 20th anniversary pops. Now, I've been thinking about this one for quite a bit now, and it's actually like kind of one of my wish lists going into 2021 because this year Monsters Inc. does celebrate the 20th anniversary of when the first movie was released. And not only that, it definitely does make sense because this upcoming fall will be the release of the Monsters at Work series that's going to be on Disney Plus. So if you have these kind of Halloween-esque figures releasing around October, it's close to the anniversary date of the original movie, and when Monsters at Work releases on Disney Plus, it totally makes sense. Now, some pops that I definitely want to see from the set is a couple new molds of Mike Wazowski because it's been so long since we've seen a Mike Wazowski pop, probably since like the very first wave of Disney pops. And I would like to see, let's say, like maybe Mike Wazowski with his work hat on. I think that would be really cool. Maybe even when Mike Wazowski has, I think he has like a pair of goggles, if I'm not mistaken. He's got like the oven mitt on. I can't exactly remember, but I'm sure you guys know what I'm talking about. It'd be really cool also to see, I think her name is Cecilia, I'm pretty sure, like Mike Wazowski's girlfriend. I think that would be so awesome in Funko Pop form. And not only that, I would love to see a Randall pop, like an actual just normal Randall. We did kind of get young Randall for the Monsters University lineup, but we've never gotten like actual Randall himself, and possibly that would come with a translucent chase because of course Randall, I'm pretty sure, is like a chameleon, so like he changes different colors and kind of goes in disguise throughout the movie. And I also think these would be amazing in Funko Soda form. I would love to see some Funko Sodas of, let's say, Sully, and you have a Flock Chase version. And same the idea that I mentioned about the pop for Randall is that make like a purple version of Randall and then possibly make a translucent like version for the Chase. There's just so much untapped potential for a Monsters Inc. lineup, especially for the 20th anniversary happening later this year. I think it would be amazing if Funko capitalizes on this as terms to an actual new wave of pops. And we haven't gotten an actual like big wave of Monsters Inc. pops since I believe they did an announcement at New York Toy Fair in 2018. So it has been about 3 years since we've actually gotten a wave. We did get that like Sully as vampire for like that Halloween box, but I mean, it's not like totally Monsters Inc. It's just, you know, a Monsters Inc. character dressed up in a Halloween costume. And I also forgot to mention before I end this video, another pop I definitely want to see is a new version of George Sanderson, but this time it is when he is completely shaven and he's got the cone over his neck. And I think it would be also a nice added detail if on the back of the pop it has a sock, because of course there is the sock that eventually like sticks to his back and it's like code 23, what is it, 2312? It's, oh my god, I can't believe I forget what the code is, but the code that basically means like, oh, you know, humans are here, blah blah blah. So it'd be really cool to get a new George Sanderson pop. Anyways, guys, that is going to be the end of today's video. If you enjoyed today's video, make sure you smash that like button, comment in the comment section below, and let me know what your Funko Wien 2021 predictions, whether it's Funko Pops or Funko Sodas, are. And like I said earlier, press the subscribe button for more content like this video in the future, and press the little bell beside it to be notified of when that future content gets released. But anyways, guys, thank you for watching today's video, and hope to see you guys next time. 1, 2, 3, I'm out of here. Follow us on all of our social media platforms on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at A Funko Popcast. If you want to check out some of our other content that's featured on our channel, you can click either the playlist that's on your screen right now featuring previous episodes of our weekly podcast, A Funko Popcast, or we have suggested a video for you guys in relation to today's video.